welcome back to my channel. Y'all already know there were amazing Labor Day sales in the cosmetic world. Okay, so there was a recent launch by Too Faced, and there was this amazing deal at Sephora. If I didn't buy a lot, and I'll explain why. Notice how as we get closer to the holiday season, there are so many deals, so many sales, things go on clearance, and then once it's like October-ish, maybe entering November, usually in October though, next thing you know, all the holiday sets come out. August going forward, I generally don't really buy a lot, and I try not to fall for the sales only because I usually look forward to the holiday sets, and they sell those cute little ornaments and you can hang on your tree, but it's a beauty product that you can use later. So I usually try to save my money for like the winter sales and the winter releases, because of the fact that you get a little more bang for your buck. With that said, I placed an order online to use my 20% off coupon because I am a VIB Rouge, and then I made sure I headed to the store to use the coupon a second time because the 20% off I was only able to use online once, and then if I wanted to use it again more than once, I would have to actually go to the store and purchase, which is a very smart tactic on their behalf, because if you go in the store, you usually want to buy more than one thing. I went in for a specific palette and I put like 5 things in my little basket, and I was like, girl, you can't do this because they don't even have the holiday sets. Put it back. And so it hurt me so much to put it back, but I did. And I went in with the goal of buying the palette, and I walked out meeting my goal, buying the palette and buying nothing else. And I felt kind of like lame because I made my way all the way to the mall to Sephora for one palette. But the palette is totally worth it. So I want to start off with the online purchase that I made. Again, it's very small. So I've seen these 2 items, and I'll tell you what each of them are, in the sale, like the sales section of Sephora for quite some time now. I've been wanting to get it, but I never decided to dive in and just buy it. If you're familiar with the sales section from the Sephora website, you'll obviously know that the prices are like really reduced. So this right here is a universal setting powder. This is by the brand Sephora. I don't need another setting powder. I have a lot of setting powders, but the one that I've been reaching for and is my preference powder right now is the RCMA No Color Powder because it is super affordable. Look how much I've used, which is almost nothing. I've had this for over 2 years. I use this pretty much every single day, and I paid $5. The only thing I don't like about this is that it looks like a salt and pepper shaker type of thing. Like, it's like a kitchen seasoning, right? And so usually what I tend to do, and you guys, if you've been following me, you'll see when I do my tutorials, I know I'm super cheap, but I didn't have a dish that I can just pour my powder into, so I ended up using like a part of the packaging of some eyelashes, and I just basically take my sponge and I dip it in there and I call it a day. What I liked about the packaging of this, when you looked at the pictures online, was that once you open it, and I'm gonna open it with you guys, I haven't touched anything. I haven't even like swatched my actual palette that I bought, and I'll show you guys. She's so pretty. Okay, so this is what I liked about the packaging. You open it. Oh, it had a little beep sound to it. You open it, and whenever you sift, you're sifting into here, which would be the same thing that I'm doing now, but I have made a mess. That little container that I have has flipped over. There's been powder everywhere. I've had black like slacks on to go to work, and then I have to change them because now I have like setting powder all over my pants. So I like this because this little pin here pushes this little metal piece in, and then while it's closed, I can just shake it and it'll sift some powder out for me, as you can see right there. And then it's just easy cleanup if it were to spill, but it doesn't seem like it will because I can just close it and set it to the side, so it's less risk of this falling over. I paid $7 for this, and even though I don't need the powder, I hope I do like the powder though, because that's more product for me. I would probably try to kind of like put this one away for a while, use up as much powder from here as I can, and then just like pour. I know I sound cheap, but I would pour some of this powder in here and then just reuse the container. So for $7, it wasn't bad. The next item I got is this Illuminator Brow Enhancer. So I got this one in matte, and this is matte sand. I want to say this was $5. I don't really remember. The reason why I ended up getting this baby is because this is what I would use to kind of apply under my brow area over here and just blend that out. I don't always get time to wax my brows last minute, and sometimes I notice my brows are like a little rough and I'm like, man, if I could only mask it. And I used to have something similar to this. I just don't know what happened to it. I don't have a dog, so I can't blame it on my dog eating it, but I had something similar to this and I loved it because it would kind of like help shape my brows a little better, clean up the edges, make it look like perfect. And then at that, if I did have brow hair growing through and I didn't have time to remove them, it would kind of mask it. So it's almost like concealer for your brows, really. As long as you blend it out, it's flawless. The last thing I got in that order was this Tarte product right here. It is a mermaid glitter. And honestly, I didn't really need this, but I wanted it. And so I've seen in Tarte's like Instagram stories, they have advertised this a lot throughout the summer. You can put it on your hair, you can put it on your skin. And as you can see, people are doing looks with it. And I like that it's more like a gel based, but when it dries, you don't really see that gel. I'm just gonna, I did swatch this with a coworker so she can see it. She was like, girl, how much was that? I believe this was $16, which is why I didn't get it before, because I didn't, like, I don't need it. So why pay $16 for something I really don't need? I wanted it because I will be doing a Halloween look or two. And so I thought that I can really use this and kind of like to kind of perk up the look a little bit. But I didn't want to pay $16 for it. So once I got my discount, my 20% off discount, I said, okay, now it doesn't bother me as much because at least I get an extra discount. But look how pretty that is. Oh, I can't wait. I want to do 1 to 2 really nice looks that I have in mind, and I can definitely put this in my hair and I can put it all over my skin. So that's why I got this. Now I'm going to move on to my actual purchase. My bag is rough. And if you saw my previous video where I got my umbrella in my FabFitFun, or if you follow me on Instagram, you will know that when I went to the Sephora store, it was pouring. So we ran and my bag took a brutal hit. Look at the palette that I got. She's so pretty. Look at all the shades. So this is the Urban Decay Born to Run. Honestly, look, I haven't even opened it. Like, the sticker is still on. So here's the story. I haven't been living under a rock. I've seen Urban Decay advertising this palette. And so the thing is, I never really paid it too much mind because I'm like, girl, you don't need any more eyeshadow. You don't need anything else. Don't spend your money. Like, don't worry about it. You don't need it. You don't need it. You don't need it. I was catching up on my YouTube videos. It's Kathleen Light's video, and she was recommending this palette, and she was saying how beautiful it was, and she was saying how even though the colors are not like straight up unique, it is a palette that you definitely need, especially for traveling. If you want to invest in a high-end palette that you know you're going to use no matter what for everything, this is the palette to get. And I was like, well, I don't know, let's see. And I was watching, first of all, this packaging, sturdy, but you already know Urban Decay, they have really good packaging. And I just love all the scenery and all the pictures they have because this is like Born to Run. So it's a really good traveling palette, and I just think the theme of it is great. And then look at this, look at it, full-size mirror. And then I like that I can flip it over completely and not damage the packaging. And then look at all these freaking shades, guys. I like a palette with my neutrals. This has my neutrals. I need a palette that has golds. This has my golds, but it also has my pops of colors. If anything, it's probably missing a blue, but I'm okay with the blue because I usually only use blue like in the warm weather, whether it's spring or summer. And now you know I have to be 100% honest with you guys. I have all these shades, but in different palettes. And so I was like, well, you already have these shades. Do you really need the palette? My best way to justify it is, well, A, Kathleen Light said you need it. So that's one. And then two, so I blame it on Kathleen Light. And then two, I am going on vacation, and I usually just pack a palette that has neutrals. I try to take one palette because I used to overpack big time. I would pack one palette that has neutrals, and then when I'm on vacation, I'm like, if only I had that green eyeshadow, or if only I had a red. And I always end up regretting not taking a palette with pops of color. So for my vacation, I will definitely be taking this palette, and I'll follow up with you guys and tell you whether or not it was super convenient to have all these colors in there. But to be honest, when I saw this palette and I swatched it, I was like, yeah, I need it, because I know for sure that I'm gonna want something other than my browns and my taupes and my golds. This is the palette I got, and I want to swatch a few for you so that you can see it. Look at those shades. Look at those shades. That was one swipe. I literally went on every single, and I know my swatches suck. Who cares about the swatches and how they look? Look at how pigmented that is. I want to show you guys the mattes. Let's see what the mattes actually look like. Let's see, here we go. Look at those swatches. I am in love with this palette already. That purple pops though, right? Maybe I'll use that purple tomorrow. I don't know. So if you guys want to see some looks, let me know what colors you'd like to see me work with. And the very last thing I got was these 3 items right here, and they're similar to what Kathleen Lights talked about in her video as well. So this is by NYX, and the mall that I go to, it's in Wayne. They actually have a NYX store, and the thing is, I really loved the shadows that, and they're super metallic. I'm gonna swatch them for you. I love the shadows that Kathleen showed, but let's keep it real. Not everyone has $20-something to dish on one shadow. So I want to look for an alternative, and I think I did. I like these because you can either pat it into place to add some shimmer, or if you swipe it into place, then you get an opaque metallic shadow. These are $6 each. I spent like $30. I got quite a few items. I got these 3 for myself, and then Ty wanted some lip glosses, and she behaved so well. I couldn't say no. Yes, they were very sheer because she's only 4, and I don't want her to have like a lip gloss with lip color in it, but she was so good, so I said why not. So I don't know if you guys can see, it has like that moussey type of texture, and then I'm gonna swatch this right here so you guys can see. Look at how metallic that is. So you can use this as a base, you can use this as a topper, and the person helping me out was like super awesome, and so he told me you can tap some into place just to add a little bit of shimmer. I don't know, there you go. It's right over, wait, where are we? No, it's right here. So I really liked that. This color right here is a copper one, and it's called Baroque. The other one that I was like, oh, I need to have that, is this gold toned one right here, and it's called Steal Your Man, which I think it is such a funny name to give it. And these are actually called the Foil Play Cream eyeshadows. I just like their really like moussey texture. He even like went over it and he was like, look, it's not moving anywhere, and it like totally didn't, which I was surprised about. Can you guys see that gold right there? Can you imagine that as a topper for Christmas? So what he explained to me is you can totally just build it, or you can top an eyeshadow to give it that kind of like shimmery metallic look. I really like glitter, like I really do like glitter, but sometimes I find that glitter is a little hard to work with, and then if it starts to fall everywhere, it kind of gets a little messy. So I like the idea of these. And then the last one that I got is this silver toned one, and the name of it is Woman of Steel. Look at that. Okay, so we are going to swatch this baby. Look at that. I'll just do it right here. That's one freaking swipe. I really want to create like, I don't know, a look with these. And again, they're $6. I know there are other high-end brands that do carry products like these, but I feel like if we are going to be real with ourselves, it'll probably be like 2 years before I get through these pots, right? Maybe even longer. So I don't mind paying $6 versus paying $20-something on something that I don't know if it's gonna dry out, or I don't even know if I'm gonna end up like being over it. Like a lot of times we are, like we'll buy stuff and then we're like, oh yeah, okay, I'm kind of over it. So I just opted to get the cheaper version of it, $6, and you guys already see how freaking pretty these are. Okay guys, that is a wrap for this video. Let me know down below which product you guys are most curious about and are excited to watch me use in a video. Also, let me know down below with regards to the palette, which shades you'd like to see me use in a video. I'm looking at doing 1 or 2 makeup tutorials with that palette, and then obviously I'll follow up with you guys letting you know how it worked out on my vacation when I go in November. As per usual, my social media platforms will be right here. Make sure you go follow me there. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye guys.